Good Geeks and Geeky News with your host Tabiso. Today we are joined in from Auckland Park by Professor Nyabadza, who's wrote an inspiring book. Since he's the professor in mathematics at UJ, I'm assuming that the book is all about maths. But we have him here today to just elaborate more on the book and what the book is all about. Mr. Professor Nyabadza, it's a good honor to have you with us today, sir. How are you?
Thank you so much, Tabiso. I'm doing great.
100%. We're very great. Good to hear that. So please just tell us more about yourself. Who's Professor Nyabadza?
Okay, good. So Professor Nyabadza is currently the head of the Department of Mathematics and Applied Mathematics at the University of Zimbabwe. Oh, did I say Zimbabwe? I'm sorry, Johannesburg. Okay. The truth is, I actually am from Zimbabwe.
Okay.
And I've been here in South Africa, and maybe let me put it this way, in the diaspora for over 20 years. And I enjoy just being a good mathematician, and I enjoy motivating the young to love and become passionate with the subject of mathematics. So I am an applied mathematician by profession, and I love just applying mathematics to real life situations. That's in summary who I am.
Okay, so you've been in South Africa for now 20 years, if I got that correct.
Something like that.
And how's the experience been?
No, the experience has actually been very wonderful, and I have met great people, and I have made great strides career-wise, and I have done a lot of writing of books, both academic books and motivational books. And the one that we are talking about today is exactly one of those that I've just recently wrote that came out this December.
Okay, yes, today we are interviewing Mr. Nyabadza because of the book that he recently wrote. So, Mr. Nyabadza, can you just tell us more about the book? It's a pity that we don't have a copy with us here. I would have shown the copy, but then it's fine. Hopefully, Mr. Nyabadza will send us through a copy of the book for us to also just indulge in.
Definitely, I will. Yes, definitely, I will. So, Tabiso, this particular book, it's a book that looks at a simple thing such as the number line, where, you know, when you were in primary school, you were taught to add, to subtract, to divide and to multiply, you know, those four operations of in mathematics. And we were taught how to do this using the number line. So the book in itself simply just focuses on how that number line relates to our daily lives, how it relates to how we can manage our relationships, how it relates to how we can increase capacity whenever there is increase in our lives, how we can, you know, navigate difficult situations in life. So it is basically a book that looks at how we can get motivated by simply looking at the number line. So maybe I can just give you a snippet of what I'm basically talking about here. You know, whenever you look at a number line, you actually see that all the numbers that are on the number line are actually ordered. You know that the number on the right-hand side is always bigger than the number on the left-hand side. It's just like you and me, Tabiso, when we look at each other, there's no way that you will say one day you will be, I will wait for you to be as old as I am. That won't happen, because as long as we are 20 years apart, we will remain 20 years apart. And this is basically what the number line just teaches us, in that simple thing, that because the numbers on the number line are actually ordered, it basically means that we can also order our lives in such a fashion if ever we want to be successful. And also it has taught me to basically respect whoever is older than me, because the number on the right is always bigger than the number on the also taught to respect whoever is younger than me, because I know the number on the left is always smaller than the number that is on the right. So it is basically those kind of things that we can actually put together and look at success by simply looking at the number line.
Interesting, because I thought it was going to be more about mathematics. And now I look at you talking about the book, and I see, you know, the excitement that you have when you talk about the book and maths. It's the very same excitement that I saw when we were having our IDM virtual event, when I was hosting the event. And hence, I'm even honored to have you here in our show. So I just want to find out. So now this is using maths to bring change or good change or to motivate other people using a basic number system line.
Yes.
Okay, wow, that's nice. And the book is called Ordering Your Way to Success.
Yes, lessons from the number line.
Lessons from the number line. Okay.
Yes,
so,
exactly. Yes.
So the whole thing that inspired this book, what actually inspired you sitting down and writing a book? Okay, I understand that you are a professor in mathematics and you love math. And what is it that stood out for you so much in the number line that you decided to write a book about it? You know, what is the overall message that this book carries?
Okay, good. Maybe the driving force behind the thinking around the book is basically what you are asking for. In a nutshell, maybe the best thing is to explain to you how I actually grew up. Is where actually this book was actually born from. Apparently, my background was actually not so good, like anybody of my age, because I always say the only thing that moved on a wheel was actually a wheelbarrow that I ever grew up seeing. And I basically just went up through. You know, my father used to work at a school as a general hand, and apparently he was just somebody who used to wash clothes, and it was just but a life that was just, you know, that was just ordinary in some way. But then one of the things that I actually realized was that if I create some kind of order in the way I actually do things, certainly my life will change. If I create some kind of realization that things can actually be negative and things can actually be positive, then I can actually navigate life in some process. And one of the things that I actually started thinking about, which was my biggest motivation, is that, do you know that every number on the number line is actually a combination of the numbers 0 up to 9? We can repeat them because 11 is 1 1 and 30 is 1 3 and 100 is 100. But the essence is, the bottom line is, you only have numbers 0 to 9. And life is basically just like that. You know, it is actually focused, or life is actually built on a few facets. And if you focus on those particular few facets, then you can actually organize yourself to success. And for your own information, you know, I can spend a whole hour discussing with you my life, but some of the things that actually stood out were that you can actually grow from a background that is obscure to a background where you can actually go up there in, you know, up in the air. It's like, if I tell you, Tabiso, you'll probably be laughing at me, that I first saw a robot when I was 21.
Wow.
That kind of a thing, where you sit down at a robot and you start counting seconds, when is it going to change? And this is one of the things that whenever I discuss with people, they would actually say, really? You can't be a professor when you talk about those kind of things. And there are those particular adjustments that I had to actually do in order for me to be where I am. And those adjustments were actually things that I learned from a number line. And maybe before I give you an opportunity to ask another question, I would probably give you some story where, and I don't know, but I think this happens in many of the young people's families, just as it happened to me. That, we had a 3-room house where we had a bedroom for the parents, a kitchen for cooking, and a small sitting room where everybody sat. But you know that at night, those rooms changed functionality and they all became bedrooms, one for the girls and the other one for the parents. But during the day, and become a sitting room, a kitchen, and whatever. I mean, and a sleeping room and a bedroom for my parents. But one of the things that I learned by simply looking at the number line, now that I have grown up and I have my own children, is actually the fact that whenever you draw numbers on the number line, if you can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, if I ask you to use the very same space to write numbers like 1 million, 1 million and 1 million, that space might actually not be enough. So I actually learned from the number line that as you grow, you actually need to also your capacity. You need to increase your capacity to handle things, your capacity to navigate, life issues. And these are the simple things that I actually learned from a number line.
Okay, wow, that's really something. And most of us we do relate to that, because also growing up from my grandmother's side, I would just go visit that side, and it was the same situation,
Precisely.
And yes, so okay. I can relate to that.
Can I just, sorry, Tabiso, can I connect my laptop to power because it is complaining?
No problem. Let me okay.
Just pause.
Okay, Mr. Nyabadza. So may you please just give advice to our geeks, our geeky parents, and also our geeky teachers out there. What advice would you give to them?
One of the things that I would always give is, I like it. I like the fact that everybody has got their own story when it comes to the subject of mathematics. But then let me begin with parents. If the subject was probably not very, you sort of didn't like it, please don't go before your kids and tell them maths is difficult. The truth is it could have been difficult to you, but to your child, it could be some fun. So it is actually an important part to always note that, it is a subject that actually needs to be enjoyed. I've heard people who say, I was very good at maths, but when I met this teacher, everything went haywire. Or somebody will say, I was not good at maths, but when I met this guy, my fortunes with respect to the subject actually changed. So my advice would basically be, maths is actually fun, and you cannot go anywhere in life without facing any mathematical situation. You may choose to close your eyes, but everything that you see, everything that you experience has some kind of an attachment to mathematics. So my advice is, it is not a subject which you can throw away, but it is a subject that can define and revolutionize your future. And it is actually an important part to actually be considerate when you're actually looking at this particular subject, and encourage, especially the young ones. It is actually one of those things. I know someone used to ask me, what would you do if you do maths? What else would you do in life if you do maths? But I have to be honest with you, I have never regretted having done mathematics. For your own information, I'm one of those people that pride themselves in the fact that if I move on the 54 African countries, I think there are only a few where I will not find a student, should I travel to, that I have actually worked with. And this is the subject that has taken me to travel the globe. It is the subject that has taken me to appear on television stations. It is the subject that has taken me to rise up and even overcome some of the biggest barriers that have actually been in my life. And I've actually used it to actually overcome even my inadequacies as an individual, and the things that I feel like they whenever I feel inadequate, I've actually used mathematics to actually navigate, you know, that kind of thing. If you remember during our online meeting, I actually said, you know, if you look at the numbers 9, 10, and 11, you know, if you're at 9, you are going to move to 10. If you are from 10, you move to 11. And one of the things that I've noted is when you're at 10, it is important to remember what is at 9, but don't focus on the things at 9 and forget that you're at 10. And don't even focus on the things at 11 where you are not yet, I mean, where you have not been. So in actual fact, the number line has taught me that life is lived in the present. And at the same time, we need to be cognizant of where we are going, and we need to be cognizant of where we are coming from. And once we are able to define that kind of a relationship, then life will start to take shape, and you start ordering your thoughts and the way you actually do things.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nyabadza. That was really indeed a good you know, advice for our kids. You know, stay focused and remain where you are and work with what you have at that particular time without any rush or anything that's not yet there. Yes, take your time and focus on the now.
Yes. Exactly. Take your time and focus on the now.
Indeed.
You shall become a parent one day. For now, focus on just being a kid.
Thank you very much. That's what I'm planning on being. Okay, so may we see the actual copy, and please just let us know where can we get the copy of this book. It sounds amazing. I also can't wait to get my own copy as well. Ordering Your Way to Success, right?
Yes,
using
exactly.
Using the number line. It sounds very interesting. Where can we get it?
So this is actually the book here. I hope it is not coming out in some, but this is actually the book, Ordering Your Way to Success, Lessons from the Number Line. And of course, got my name here. And at the back, I then give some kind of a brief synopsis of what this book and what you benefit by actually reading this particular book. So this book was actually a self-published book.
Wow.
By self-published, basically means that it is a book that I wrote, then I did, I had to do the editing myself, I had to do the design of the cover myself, and I had to, which is one of the things that I've actually learned, that you can actually do things basically for yourself. So this book is actually available, and if you want it, you can just write an email to me, and then I can just invoice you. It doesn't cost that much. It's only 150 Rand. If you're in South Africa, you just put 50 Rand for postage, and then for 200 Rand, you will have your copy, and then certainly your life will certainly be revolutionized. In fact, what I wrote at the end, I mean, at the back here, is that life is about numbers, and the number line is simply an array of ordered numbers. It is about understanding how to order thoughts, steps, priorities, and choices that lead to success. This book is not about mathematics, but it is about success learned by simply looking at the number line. The numbers on the number line are ordered, and success in life is not a random process. It is actually a process that comes by ordering the way you think, the way you do things, the way you perceive, and the way you basically look at things. You know, I can give you a small, so if you want to write, let me just give you my email address. My email address is fnyabadza, the F for Farai, the Nyabadza is for the surname. So it's fnyabadza@uj.ac.za. That's my email address. You can even find me even on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. In fact, on Facebook, if you just type Farai Nyabadza, you get me there. You can find me on Twitter as well. And this book is also available as on an online ebook on Amazon, that is on the Kindle website, and it is also available on Smashwords if you want the e-version of the book. So it is available for your pleasure and your reading pleasure only. And it is good as a motivational book that will guide you to actually doing the right thing when it matters, especially when you're still young.
Thank you very much, Professor Nyabadza. Ordering your way to success,
Sure.
lessons from the number line. So that's the book. Please do get yourself a copy of the book so that you can understand and get more clarity on what the book is all about. Let us support our thank you very much, Mr. Nyabadza. It was great having you on our show. And we look forward to seeing you again, you know, as time goes. And as you write more books, please do let us know so that we can feature you on our shows. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you very much, Thabiso. And all the pleasure to those that are going to have this book in their hand.
Indeed.
Thank you.
I'm also going to get myself a copy. You need a copy.
Yes, certainly.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kicks. That was Mr. Professor Nyabadza from the UJ. He was joining us from Auckland Park. And today that's how we wrap it up. Hope to see you soon again on this channel. For more information of this, visit our website, www.africa10geeks, and go to our blog, you know, to find out more about our articles and what is it that we do and what is it that we are up to every single day. I'm your host, Thabiso, signing out.
Thank you.